everyone, and welcome to this Arrow After Show here on thestream.tv. I am Kaori Takee, and I'm so glad that you guys can join us for this after show for the season finale of Arrow. Quite sad that this is already the season finale, but I've got three great people here to talk about Arrow with me, starting with Michael over there.
Hi guys, I'm Michael Medina. I have absolutely nothing clever to say right now.
Okay. And maybe someone else will say something more clever. Ann Campea.
Hey everybody, I'm ready to hood up and talk about this episode. Cheers.
Apparently hooding up is drinking Jack Daniel's Honey Jack. And next to me, of course, I've got David.
Hello everybody, David Griffin here. We're ready to talk about some Arrow excited season finale. A lot of things to talk about tonight.
I think you got hooded up a little with that beard going on too.
Yeah, I'm trying to, get the manly look going.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's, Oliver always has the 5 o'clock shadow going, like the permanent, perfect.
It's working.
I want to see his shaving routine. He has the perfect 5 o'clock shadow / light scruff all the time. I don't know how he does that. It's impossible.
Well, now you are in a better disguise than Diggle has been
yeah,
for
exactly.
the past
I'm more
3 seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
But before we get into it, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys our positives as well as our negatives. And then we're going to go through your viewer questions and comments, and you can tweet us all along the way as well as throughout the summer or whatnot, because we like it, at #ArrowAfterShow. And I want to give a shout out to some of our fans out there that have been great followers along the way, and thank you so much for that. Starting with Chris Snyder, who runs Arrow Fan City. It's his birthday coming up on Monday, so we're giving you a shout out, happy birthday. And also a lot, among others, Bam Smack Pow, Geekly Rocks, Arrow Fans UK, Flash Arrow Power Hour podcast, that's kind of cool, Infinite Comics, and Comic Booked. But thank you everyone for watching us, leaving comments, and tweeting us all season long. We appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get on to the after show. Overall thoughts of this season finale, what did you guys think?
Well, that was a pretty solid episode, enjoyable. Some of the ending things were interesting choices. I guess we'll get into that a little bit later. But overall, I thought it was strong. I feel like the show's kind of been a little all over the place this season, a little back and forth, and some episodes were stronger than others. But at the end, it kind of centered everything. I mean, we'll see what happens. Oliver always goes away for a time, and then maybe he comes back. But I don't know, I thought it was a pretty solid finale.
Okay, I am going to kindly disagree, only because as much as I love Arrow, I had seen stronger season finales in season 1 and season 2, and this one kind of fell off as maybe a series finale, and I didn't like that. I didn't know what to cliffhang on. I didn't feel like a cliffhanger. I didn't feel like anything was left. That being said, I'm sure they have a lot in store for season 4, but I just wanted more out of a season finale, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it felt very much like a series finale. I think if they weren't renewed for season 4, I might actually be okay with that. But it did not leave us with any cliffhangers, so I am a little bit disappointed with that. And I felt like they were just trying to wrap up a very, in my opinion, disjointed season. And so they did their best to do that in this season finale. I guess we'll talk about whether they were able to accomplish it or not.
Yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. This season has been up and down. The storyline, very disjointed. It's weird. It's like, yes, I'm curious. I want to know what's going to happen next season. Yes, I will be tuning in. I'll be watching. But it didn't leave me wanting more. Like most season finales will do that.
Yeah.
Give me something to look forward to. I mean, I don't really have anything to look forward to. I was a little disappointed. It was a good episode. Yeah. Not a great episode. Far from their best season finale.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the past couple of last episodes, it's been, like, culminating into something really good and grand, and then the way to end it was just like, oh, man, like, just give us one more episode to kind of make it fluffier.
It was a bit predictable, I think.
A little bit. But not to say we're not Arrow fans, guys, so don't go out there and be like, why are you guys talking about Arrow if you don't like it? That's not true. We love Arrow, and that's why we're here.
For sure.
Okay, well, that being said, let's talk about our positives, because there are many for this show, and let's start with Michael over there.
Okay. I really like the fight choreography in this. I thought there was a lot of like fighting on the plane. They're fighting all over on the rooftops in the city. I like the way they built up the tension in this episode. I like Captain Lance. Captain Lance. I love him. He's a great character. So I love whenever he gets involved and bringing in all the troops and everything, rallying and all that. I thought it was really well done and well shot. you know. I enjoyed that. And then I also, it's weird because this actually kind of goes into my negatives. I'll touch on that later. I like Merlyn. I like when he gets involved. He's a great, we all agree he's a great actor, great, fantastic character. He's great. I like when he gets involved, but it's getting involved a little too much. And that kind of bleeds into my negatives.
Interesting.
I'll touch on that later.
I think the beauty of that character is that he will forever be, I think, the perfect balance between, as a viewer, struggling to figure out whether he is truly good or truly evil. He's always right in the middle. I think in this episode he got what he wanted, obviously, you know, so that's for selfish reasons. Absolutely. You know, somebody evil would want to get what they were intending to get, which was him taking the lead in the League of Assassins. But at the same time, he helped a group that, you know, in the past seasons he has actually fought against. So it's weird to wrap your mind around a character like that because he's so complex.
It is interesting because if you guys watch Flash, which I'm sure maybe you guys do, we see Captain Cold. He helped Barry, right?
That's a good example.
To benefit his own well-being. He formed, well, you have to assume he's going to form his rogues now. So I understand why he would do that. But again, I don't want to get too into it because that's going to be my negatives. But yes, you know.
Well, see, Merlyn is one of my positives, actually, because again and again, I think he saves the episode, and I think, if anything, the cliffhanger of him suddenly becoming Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, whoever actor wants to say it, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to see what his character is going to decide to do with that, because he also has ties to now Speedy, which is also awesome, and that's also one of my positives. Is that's something curious. Like, finally, we make her into something like Thea shone in this particular season. You know, she was kind of lacking in the first 2 seasons, but then this one, she was actually a very interesting character. So there it is, my 2 positives. I just kind of like smear them all in one. I really appreciated those things. And also, why not, not to try to take away from you guys, but Ray Palmer's suit at the end.
Yes.
He blew up.
Finally,
He blew up.
But finally, it's gonna get miniaturized. Finally, that's what we've been waiting for. We've been talking about this. Like, when is he gonna like shrink? When is he gonna get smaller? So it looks like he's working on that now. So finally.
Yes. So I mean, there are some positives of the season finale. Just I don't like Oliver running away with fools. We'll talk about that later. Some of your positives.
I like main man Oliver coming back. He's back. He's back. He's Oliver Queen. Like the little scene in the plane, little battle against Ra's al Ghul. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my name is Oliver Queen. You know, he's back.
Say that again.
Yeah, I can't. A little bit hard in the throat. In Flash this week, we got to see him cross over, kind of, I don't know, interestingly. He just kind of came back from Not Apart Bad, helped out Barry Allen. Barry Allen helped him out this week, and it was nice seeing Oliver back. I mean, I want to see Oliver Queen be the hero. We heard him at the end say he can take some time off, maybe go be happy. He's like, I'm happy now. I don't know if I like all that, but I do like that Oliver Queen is back being Oliver Queen. I don't want him to be the next Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, well, in typical fashion, you know it's not going to be a happy ending for you. You know something's going to go down. We all know this, and that's fine. We expect and we love that, you know, but it was, you know, weird.
Was anyone spoiled by seeing, I know you guys probably saw Flash last night. Was anyone spoiled? Were you actually truly believing that Oliver was becoming Ra's al Ghul?
No,
never.
Okay,
Ever
so
since that
seeing him in
photo
Flash
got leaked
didn't
like 6
spoil
weeks
it.
ago with like all the
No.
guys lined up, I mean, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to not leave us like with our like just confused.
We talked about that last week about knowing, like, when when everybody was down there and, you know, in the dungeon. You know, that was funny when Flash came, when Barry came in and said, like, this is really a dungeon. That was funny, but
Love
we
the
knew
cameo.
that no one was going to die.
Yeah.
We really didn't buy that anybody was going to die down there.
Yeah.
You know.
And what are some of your positives?
I want to say that for those of you that do catch the Flash, I love the crossover that happened yesterday, and I like the crossover that happened today. But I think the beauty of the crossover is that it showcased how different Barry and Oliver are. And they kind of alluded to that in the Flash last night. And I know we're not the Flash after show. We have a great Flash after show on the stream. But I will say that there was a scene, I can't remember who Barry was in it with, but he said, you are not Oliver Queen. You are not the same type of hero.
Yeah.
That's not your the way you do things. You
Felicity
don't
was
torture
telling-
things.
torture
people. And so, you know, we see it in the flashback where Oliver's torturing the guy. And I like that they were able to showcase that between the 2 episodes, that they're very different perspectives on how they want to help people, how they want to save people. And they showed Oliver's, the way Oliver does things tonight in that flashback, I think.
It's kind of the beauty of that whole, like, the crossover, because it reminds me a lot of Batman and Superman, because it's like that yin and yang, that dark and light, you know what I mean? They can't get Batman and Superman on the CW, but this is the closest they can get. So, you know, Barry's very much like a child. Kind of, right? I mean, he's having fun with his abilities, he's enjoying, he's being positive, where Oliver's just like, you know, always like brooding, or just always some kind of drama going on. So I think it just really works.
Yeah, I think like the moment you see Barry Allen step in, he has just a lighthearted sense to him that just adds a lot of joy just watching him.
It makes a reference to the Lazarus Pit, like, oh, they have a hot tub?
Yeah.
Like, cool, this is great.
It's like, thanks for spoiling my identity. You know. So let's talk about some of our negatives. And actually, my negative would be that not enough Barry Allen in this episode. Not gonna lie,
they kind of hyped up the crossover.
And I think when we were watching it, we thought, that can't be it. That can't be it. And I think Anne was like, no, it's not. But it wasn't.
That was it.
I mean,
it was both episodes. In Flash too, I'm sure. I know a lot of people were disappointed because in the Flash, the guys just kind of, you know, just kind of show up at the end. You have Firestorm, you know, Oliver and Barry together. They help out a little bit, and they go away. It's like, oh, we gotta go. Bye.
But you were hoping like it would like kind of escalate into something more.
Right, because the first big crossover we had that. Yeah, everybody like, you know, we had Cisco talking to, you know, Roy and, you know, everybody at the club and having, you know, goofy conversations, and it was just awkward. It was funny, but this one it was just kind of quick. You know?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like what I said before. They're probably going to stick to one major crossover a season, and then just maybe sprinkle smaller little ones throughout the season.
Sure.
I guess it makes sense.
Okay. And another one of my negatives, and this is kind of a season whole, is, and I always talked about this, but I was hoping that this episode might change my thought on this, but it didn't, is the backstory, the history. I felt like it didn't really add much content to it. We could have absolutely done without it. There could have been another way to know more about Tatsu and Akio and everybody, but it just didn't, I didn't get any feelings or any excitement when the backstory ever came up. And so for that, for me, that was kind of a huge flush down the toilet.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I was really hoping to see Masayo's descent into, I guess, darkness, joining Ra's al Ghul. We didn't see that. I don't know if maybe we will next season. I don't know, but I guess come next season it'll be pointless. It wouldn't really make sense. But this would have been the episode to have done that. And he just is like, oh, I failed you. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, really failed me now.
They really served no purpose.
And it's funny that you say that because this is the only episode where I thought the flashback was of value because it kind of tied the knot on the Masayo and Tatsu relationship and really showed conviction from Masayo as to why he decided to join the League. But to Kaori's point, it didn't progress Oliver at all, in my opinion. At all whatsoever. I mean, he learned how to torture people. Maybe that's all that we got out of the backstory, but what else? I
mean, throughout the whole entire backstory, you're thinking, okay, he's trying to build trust with Tatsu, and the whole time she just doesn't like him. But at the end, she gives him the urn. You're like, okay, he's progressing. A couple scenes later, she pretty much calls him a monster because of what he did. So I'm like, all right, well, what just happened? Nothing changed. End result.
Unfortunately, it kind of sums up the flashbacks this whole entire season, right? They've been pretty disappointing. They used to be my favorite part of every episode, and now it's just like, you know, I have faith in the show. I think come next season, they'll right the ship. But this season, they just kind of missed the mark with the flashbacks, unfortunately.
Yeah. David, negatives?
The whole Ra's al Ghul fight. Ra's al Ghul versus Oliver Queen. I don't like seeing Ra's get killed.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. He's the ultimate badass.
We just talked about this, wasn't it like last week?
Yeah, like
we were talking about
the whole season we've been saying we don't want to see him kill Ra's, and I don't mind Malcolm becoming Ra's. Like Malcolm's such a great character. I'm always happy to see more of him, but you can't kill Ra's that easily. I mean, maybe he'll come back. I don't know. Everybody can be Ra's. I just didn't like seeing him, you know, die so quickly.
He became the throwaway villain of the season, you know?
Yeah, he's Ra's al Ghul. You can't throw away Ra's al Ghul.
I would have rather seen Oliver stab him and him fall into the waterfall, so at least we think there's a chance he's still living.
Cliffhanger.
I mean, there is still a chance he's still living.
True.
But,
true.
I mean, I agree. That's not where we wanted to see that character go.
Do you have anything else? Or?
No, because I actually would say, just to comment on the flashbacks, I actually enjoyed the flashbacks this episode. I actually liked seeing Tatsu and Masayo. I like their kind of farewell. I like them seeing walking towards the boat, kind of the farewell walk. I agree, though, it didn't further Oliver's story along, because we already know that he's done dark things. We know that he's killed people. We know that he's tortured people. But I actually did like seeing those two kind of have their closing moment.
Yeah.
Even last season, if I remember correctly, in the season finale was when they revealed the whole Hong Kong twist, right? I believe it was at the season finale. So that was cool. So I was waiting for the flashback's gonna be awesome. Where's he gonna go next? We didn't get that. He gets on a boat.
But
so I don't know.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I didn't like seeing though Katana talk about how she's gonna go away, and it's like, I need to go back to that life of isolation for living before this. I need to go back there, and I don't think it's gonna be the last we're gonna see of her, but I want to see her.
Sure it won't. She's a great character.
I really like her.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy her. And do you have any negatives?
In addition to what David said, I think seeing Ra's al Ghul die was one of my negatives. But the other thing is the fact that every villain, it bothers me because every villain always has to reveal their evil plan. And when Ra's al Ghul was like, I got 4 weapons in
why'd
the
you tell me you have 4? Just tell me you have 1.
4.
Yeah.
I have 4. Go look for them.
Right.
Don't look for them, but look for them. That always bothers me. And I know it has to happen to kind of set us up as viewers that there are 4 different spots that they have to go to.
Scavenger hunt.
Whatever, but that's just a nitpick negative for me.
All right.
My negatives, I'll start with Malcolm. Malcolm's a great character. We all love Malcolm. Fantastic actor, fantastic character. My issue is that him and Nyssa being good guys is weird to me. Now granted, Malcolm's not 100% good guy. He obviously has his own evil, he has his intentions. He's the Ra's al Ghul now, so I understand that, that's fine. But it's just weird him helping the group, and Nyssa, like there was a scene when she's talking to Laurel, like, oh, I see you had a great teacher. I don't know if I like that. I wanted to be a bit of a badass. I wanted to be you know what I mean? Like, I like that. I want them to be villains. They don't have to be completely evil. They can, be complex characters, but I just didn't get that from them.
I don't think that Nyssa comes off, at least for me, as a good guy. She still comes off as someone that's, conflicted.
I see her as kind of like a good guy with an edge. Like, she's still rough around the edges, but she's doing the right thing. Like the scene a few weeks back when she's eating this is fried. It's fried, and it's just ice cream or whatever. It's like, it kind of softens the character a little bit to me.
I will say though, sometimes she comes off a little bit irrational, and I don't know why they chose to make her that way, but I do like where she's going right now, especially with Laurel.
Yeah.
Who would have thought I would enjoy Laurel? Yeah.
I guess my other one would be Diggle. I am a Diggle fan. I like Diggle. He's a great guy. Problem with Diggle, it's been this emotional roller coaster, hasn't it? Like 1 minute he's retired from the group, the next he's back on the team, then retired again, then back on the team. It took him 3 seasons to finally consider, hey, maybe I should wear a mask. Like really, it gets a little annoying. It's like I don't understand his motivations. What is he doing? He's got a family, he's got a kid. That's why he retired, right?
I thought he retired, yeah.
Exactly, but now he's part of the team? I don't understand. I feel like they, after 3 seasons, still don't really know what to do with this character. He's a great character. They just don't know what to do with him, how to handle him.
Well, lucky for them, he's a solid character that no one wants to see go away.
Yeah, exactly, I guess.
But I will give it to Diggle. I mean, the fact that he is the only one who hasn't truly forgiven Oliver for everything that's happened this season, I will give it to him for that because it seems like everybody else was so quick to forgive.
I do agree.
Felicity was like, I'm good. Like,
yeah.
No, water under the bridge, very quickly. But Diggle's like, no, you put my wife in danger. Yeah. You put my child in danger. Yes. I will never forgive you for that.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's always the voice of reason. But that being said, if I was Felicity and the man I loved was like, jump in my Porsche. I don't know how I can still afford it, considering. But jump in my Porsche.
He's a broke billionaire. He's got millions, isn't it?
Tell me how you can do that, because I will do the same.
$1 million.
Yeah.
On a side note, I will say this season, for me, I think the best thing to come out of this season, for me, would be Thea. She's really progressed as a character.
Agreed.
First couple seasons, especially season 1, just kind of whatever, kind of throwaway. Season 3, she's progressed. She's an interesting character. Now she's going to be, I guess she's going to go by Speedy, Red Arrow, whatever. But that's cool to me. Her and Laurel.
Yes.
I got to go with Laurel.
I was going to say that.
This is a character that a lot of people are hard on, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But she's really progressed. Whether you like her or not, she's progressed. She's, her fighting technique it's getting there. You know what I mean? But like we talked about this, I think it was just last week when she talked about she was having good lines, good one-liners. She's being the voice of reason. It's like, all right, so I like this kind of progression, and it's believable to me because I've said this before. It's taken time. I think might not be perfect, but they took their time in trying to build this character and flesh her out with her all fighting techniques and all that stuff. So I
think they succeeded as well because also. It used to be whenever she came into the scene, I'm thinking, okay, whatever, she's dropping pills, she doesn't know what she's doing. But even the scene with her father, that was a good scene, sitting there and giving him, pep talk about not being an alcoholic and all that stuff. So I could really appreciate how much she's grown and how much Thea's grown. I will miss you, Roy Harper. I just had to throw you in there because you were.
He will also grow.
Right.
I think part of Corey was like, please be Colton Haynes under that red hood. Please be Colton Haynes. But Thea did look pretty good in the red hood, too.
She did. She looked great.
She was a cutie. All right, guys. So anything else before we move on to the viewer questions and comments?
Good.
All right. Well, let's head into your viewer questions and comments. And you guys can also send us your questions and comments, #ArrowAfterShow right now or all summer long with theories and all that good stuff.
Do it.
Why are you laughing? Send it to only him. Only him.
He will reply to each and every one of them.
All Twitter questions, all Arrow After Show, all to me. I will collect all of them.
He will.
Yeah, I probably will, actually.
That or practice your fatalities.
Yes.
We'll call that. All right, so let's do this. Ann, go ahead.
All right, so we have our first question from Lanting Jack, who asks, isn't it kind of getting repetitive that Ollie decides to go away and come back for the season premiere?
Lanting Jack, yes.
Did I not say that?
Yes.
We were watching this episode. I'm like, didn't he do that already once before? It's yeah, it is a little repetitive.
And every mid-season and every end of season, it's like he goes away.
He just needs a little vacation time. You know what I loved? I want to say I loved on this episode is that they acknowledged the fact Detective Lance said, "Oh, the city's in danger again. It must be May," which was awesome because it's always the season finale. That was a nice thing by the writers. They acknowledge it. You know, the show.
And it's weird because I get where you're coming from with the whole like Oliver and Felicity driving off into the sunset or whatever, but I'm torn. Like part of me is like, oh, whatever, rolling my eyes, but another part of me is like, well, if realistically, if you were Oliver, you would want to have that getaway with the person. You'd love to spend time with the person that you love. So it's like, I kind of get it, but it is repetitive.
But let's not forget, Oliver's still married.
That is true.
Because she's like, can we go get like that annulled somewhere or something?
I think that's easily annulled. I mean, that ain't no thing. It was Yana Parbat. I mean, it's forgettable.
I don't think it was legally binding.
No, Nisha's gonna like use that when it's necessary. She'll be like, oh, by the way, you know we're married.
Like, I want half. I want half.
Yeah, she tried to kill him at the wedding. It's okay. It's totally fine. What's the next question?
All right, next question comes from Marina010Z, who asks, what did you guys think of Roz getting killed?
Well, we answered that, but...
Yeah.
Me too.
Who actually thinks he's dead?
Nobody.
Oh, no. Do we think he's dead?
I hope he's alive. He looked pretty dead, though.
He did look pretty dead.
He looked pretty dead.
I mean, you kind of like...
He kind of got stabbed like Merlyn did, though, right? Like kind of on the side.
From the mid-season finale when it was impossible to even touch him to this point where Oliver was like, yoink, it was like, oh, come on. Disappointed.
Yeah, he's the baddest man on the planet. You can't kill him that easily. That's just
I know.
Problem.
I mean, even like when you play Arkham, you're scared.
Yeah, that level in Arkham. You know? Yeah,
like,
that's
a badass character.
Level.
So, all right, next one.
All right, next question comes from @Tim, I think is how you say it. Why did they just Felicity into Yoko?
What?
She's breaking up the band, and why do they keep kicking Oliver out of his own show?
That's a what's the reference? Empire reference. Empire After Show here on the Stream.TV.
Oh, okay.
Hey Yoko, talking about the one. Hey Yoko, where's your tambourine? You gonna play an instrument?
No.
Band,
yeah, this isn't the Beatles.
I don't think she's breaking
the
up the band because I mean she's part of that band to begin with. I mean without her, they're not a complete entity. I just think they're just taking a break, so I don't even consider her like a Yoko at all. So.
Yeah, I feel like they're just resetting the board. I mean, we know we have this spin-off show. I believe it's like DC Legends of Tomorrow or something like that, or Heroes of Tomorrow. We have the spin-off show, so we know that Ray's going to go off and do his thing. We know everybody's the Captain Cole. Those guys have their own show. So I think they're just kind of resetting the board.
Yeah.
Oliver's going to go away for a little while. But he's going to come back.
I think that's why they kind of ended this. Why it almost kind of felt like a series finale because they just wanted to start off with a clean slate for season 4. Again, it was a little disappointing because you always hope for like that cliffhanger, right?
Course.
But I think it makes sense.
I mean, you got to realize the writers probably, the writers are always optimistic, but they probably didn't think the show was going to be as successful as it was. Well, season 1. So they probably came into it like, we're going to have a couple ideas, maybe an arc, but like they didn't think it was going to blow up. So like they're going to get a spin-off series.
Sure.
Even Supernatural doesn't have a spin-off series. That show's been around for like 10 years. So it's good for them. Hopefully they'll be able to turn things around after.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately Arrow helped recatapult all these superhero shows on TV. So thank you, Arrow.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we can't forget either because I know sometimes you know, we can be a little hard on Arrow. And again, it's like, you know, if the show's not good, that's fine. We all have our own opinions, and we have a right to that. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. I mean, really, it was Arrow that kind of kickstarted everything, because now we have shows like Flash. We have their spinoff. We have, you know, the Supergirl show. You know,
We have
The big trailer just
Shield.
dropped today.
Not
yeah.
saying that all that stuff came from Arrow,
Right.
but Arrow was kind of like the first show that really did it right.
Like rebooted it again, yeah.
So our expectations will always be up here for
Yes.
the show because
Yeah.
we love it so
Yeah,
much.
We love
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Arrow.
All right. Next question comes from Emily Bet Fans 1, who asked, "What do you think will happen for Oliver and Felicity to come back?"
Oh, you know that's an Olicity fan right there. Team Olicity, hashtag
Yeah.
Olicity.
I am thinking Oliver's baby that we have not heard
Connor.
of on
Yeah, he's
the
kind of a
Arrow
deadbeat
show.
dad. He's got a kid he needs to be raising.
Yes.
Yep.
That
But he doesn't
might
know about him.
come back.
Yeah,
know
that's
about
true.
him.
That's true.
He's got a
He doesn't know
wife. He's got a kid.
He's got a mistress.
And
Felicity
he's
is
got a
technically his
mistress.
mistress. I'm sorry, Felicity fans. Oliver's cheating right now.
Felicity,
Sorry, he's
Felicity
cheating.
has been like General Hospital star this whole season, so I think she's just gonna break down when this happens.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna. That's the thing. I have no idea where they can go from this point on. I have no clue.
I think the obvious for me would be if any family would just be Thea. If Thea isn't ever in any danger, Oliver comes running back.
Yes.
They did that this season, so I'm hoping they find another angle, not just Thea being in danger. But that would probably be the obvious for me, is that something's happening to Thea and he needs to come and help
But
her.
wait, if Thea is in danger, doesn't Roy Harper come back too?
Good point. Good point. Well, the thing is,
That's good news for Kaori. It's kind of great.
fortunate with characters like this, but like we look at like Bruce Wayne and Batman, like these guys, and Oliver said it himself, they don't get the girl, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that Felicity can't happen, but it's not going to be
It's
perfect.
happening.
It's
Take a little
for how
vacation,
long?
little vacay.
For how long though? Like, you know what I mean? Like these relationships, they're never meant to last. I'd like to see it last, but then that means the show's over, right? We don't want the show to end.
I mean, they had an elongated sex scene, which
They
was
did.
too much
long,
for
too much.
us. But anyway, yeah, we have one more question.
I have a question in between the question. Can I ask this?
Yes.
Real quick.
Go.
Are you guys at all turned off by the fact that Felicity and Oliver ended up together in this season?
I am.
Because, you know, some people like to just tease the whole series, like this love,
Yeah.
and they're actually together. Does
So
that bother anybody?
I preferred the. I can't, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, Air After Show fans, but I can't remember if it's the premiere where they went on that date. Remember,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
blew
yeah,
it
yeah.
up. It was blown up, you know, and that was like the whole sign of like, look, this is never going to work out.
Yeah.
It's just too dangerous. I got too much going on. I like that. That's what I thought the season
Yeah.
was going to end. So I don't really know seeing them drive off into the sunset. But I think we all know it's not a reality.
I
but
mean-
I don't know if
Won't
I,
last
yeah,
long.
I don't know if I liked it.
I mean, you guys might disagree with me. I've never thought I would say this, but I would actually prefer Oliver back with Laurel. I know
Really?
that's crazy,
Ooh.
but because like he was, you know, he had a picture of her when he was on the island. That was his love, and she's come a long way. She's become a strong character. She's evolved, and then I understand like you can start falling for someone, but he's acting like that. She's old. It suddenly, when season 3 started, it was like Felicity has always been his true love, and that
Yeah.
for me was unbelievable. It's like, oh come on.
Yeah, that's a
you
good
know?
point though, because they did kind of sweep that under the rug. The whole him and Laurel history
Yeah.
that they've had, they were just like, oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't exist. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really have an issue with them getting together because I do have an issue with shows that kind of take something. It's like beating a dead horse. It's like, will they, won't they? Like you can only do that for so long before it's like, all right, don't or do it. You know what I mean? One of the two. So it's like,
true.
I think, again, this is really goes, it's up to the writers to just like, you know, come up with good storylines so that it doesn't get old. Because I know like if you read like comic books, you read like Spider-Man and, you know, Mary Jane and Peter Parker not able to be together because like when audiences get older and they get older, oh, it's not believable, it's not as exciting when they're married and nobody wants to watch that stuff.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
Turn into a sitcom,
But
yeah.
that's what they say. So, you know, I can understand. But again, it's really up to the writers to come up with, you know, good, interesting storylines for characters who are together.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not like it can't be done.
Sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right,
All
last
right,
question.
Last question.
Cisco383 asks, am I the only one after an entire season still don't get why Malcolm used Thea to kill Sarah to be free of Roz?
Damn you, Cisco. Good points.
Cisco's Bay.
Good points. Cisco is Bay.
It made sense at the time for him, but now that it's all a moot point because it's like, what's the point? I mean, it didn't do anything in the end.
It really
they could have
didn't.
just not done it, then none of this would have happened anyway.
But they did mention it at the end of the season, like,
They did.
we'll not forgive you for Sarah.
for Sarah,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
so.
But still, is that enough? You know what I mean? Like it
I
really
don't know.
did.
Well, we all loved her, and we know she's going to be in the spin-off show. We don't exactly know how yet. I
Yeah.
thought we might see something, but
I actually
we
didn't love her. if you guys remember.
Oh, no.
She's the only one.
Yeah, I'm like, I know.
No.
You know, I wonder, I just thought about this. Like, I was wondering, like, if you guys watched Smallville. You guys watched
Yes,
Smallville at all?
of course.
Okay, do you remember in the final season when they brought back Jonathan Kent? He came back, but it was like flashbacks. Spoiler alert!
Thanks a lot.
It was brought back in like flashbacks or like some weird, I don't know what it was that Clark was in, but he could like talk to him. Not in, like just in modern time. Anyways, it was weird. So I'm wondering if maybe they might use her like that.
Oh, like
You
she
know what
won't
I mean?
actually be.
Yeah, she's
living.
dead, but they bring her like in flashbacks. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure. I have no answers. I have no idea what's going on, but yeah.
Michael knows everything.
All right, guys. Well, that about wraps up this season's Arrow After Show. Do you guys have any last words before we say goodbye to our friends over there in the world?
I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for, you know, new team kind of moving in here halfway through. So thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for just showing the love out there, those who have shown love. Really appreciate it. So yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, where can people follow you, by the way?
Oh, this is it. We're wrapping this up. Yes, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at GriffinDE.
Griffin DE. All right, Michael? Yeah.
Just to piggyback on what David said again, very grateful. I love all you guys. You know what? I love the good and bad. I really don't care. I love to hear it all. You know what I mean? Not all you guys are going to agree with what I have to say. And you know what? That's fine. That's totally fine because we're all entitled to our opinions. And I think that's what makes this whole community great, right? You know, that we can talk about this and our highs and lows, what we like and don't like. So again, we came in kind of late into the show and stuff. And you know, grateful for you guys to take us on and stuff. Well, David and I have been doing our things for a while. So like to be a part of this team. And I love you guys. And it's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to, let's get emotional.
We've actually like treated like a really good friendship here. In case
we really
you guys
have.
are wondering, like, we're probably like the most friendliest panel ever. Just saying, like, we love each other to death. We hang out and everything. But anyway.
No, but that's so true though. Like this is all genuine. Like I'm really so happy to be part of like, you know, with Team Arrow After Show, the stream. It's been great. You know, we'll come back. Don't worry. I'll be here. But again, you can find me.
Always early.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Mr. Michael. I can't do this now. You can find me on Twitter, Mr. Michael Alexis. You can find David and myself on YouTube at Think Hero Pro. And yeah, see you guys soon.
All right, Ann?
Thank you, everybody, for watching this season with us. We've had a great time talking about it. Continue to tweet us during this break because I love talking Arrow a lot.
Or Flash or anything.
Or Flash, and we have something really special for you guys coming up next week as well as a group. You guys can follow me at Ann Campea as well as Kaori and I. We do a lot of fun talking stuff at Team Amazing. So follow us there too.
Yes, and I just wanted to piggyback on my pals over here. Thank you guys so much for watching and being fans, because without you guys, we would not be here being able to keep a conversation going. So tweet us all summer long, #ArrowAfterShow. And next week, we have a very, very, very special show. We've decided to create an Arrow Awards show. We are going to hand out awards to our favorite various categories pertaining to the Arrow show. And thank you guys again so much for tuning in all season long and continue to keep the conversation going. You can follow Ann and I at Team Amazing, where we do our show Speak Nerdy to Me, talking about random nerdy stuff. And we are also getting ready to cosplay at Comic-Con, so guess who we're gonna be? I don't know. And you can follow me right down here, or not down here, but you'll see the thing come up at KAORIOUS. There it is. Kaori is on Twitter as well as Instagram. So tune in next week at 7:15. We will be live with a special awards after show for Arrow. And we'll catch you guys hopefully next week. And thank you guys again so much on behalf of everybody, from Michael, Ann, and David. Thank you, and see you later.
Hey guys, if you want more Arrow or other after shows, click the subscribe button to thestream.tv.
Hey, what are you doing?
Just getting a movie from Biggle.
What's Biggle?
It's an app that lets you rent or own TV shows and movies just by using points.
Oh, how do you get the points?
By watching TV.
You get TV shows and movies by watching TV?
Yeah.
But I watch TV.
Then you should download Biggle.
How much is Biggle?
Free.
What?
Download Biggle for free. Now TV loves you back.
You getting another movie?
No, I'm emailing my mom.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, that's also free.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them don't ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.